we're gonna get one right here.
If he was a winner, girl, you wouldn't have to worry about a damn thing. If I was up in it, shit, I bet a pound that I put it down. Make you forget that you was ever with him. And I hate talking about my stroke game, but girl, I'm giving you the whole thing. I could put like 25 on your finger, 5 for your shade, so you can't see these other niggas. They won't call you again. That's enough. I could see you wasting time. Will you pay it out to me? With the wrong hand. I just wanna clock in. Night days, days. I'll be more open. Keep it Give me that.
Yeah, see, I forgot the microphone was muted, so there was that problem. All right. Sorry, I turned off my microphone a long time ago, and like a noob, I forgot to turn it off. So I was sitting there looking like people are not really much interacting right now. So I apologize. So what I did say before was hi literally to everyone that's been talking. So I apologize this far. Sorry, guys. People probably left like, what the hell? So that's my bad. Anyways, what's good, everybody? I knew something was wrong. I was like, dang, I'm out here talking, but no one's here. Cool. I gotta make a bunch of these. So, I mean, when in doubt. And I have a lot of things I gotta figure out here. But if I can figure it out here, make my life a little bit easier. I don't know what I was doing here. Oh, that's the other part. Okay, I'm tripping. This needs to be in back of that, so let's just get all of this stuff kind of laid out. So there we go. Okay, so yeah, I kind of messed that up a little bit there. So can I make this the same thing? You know what? I feel like whenever I do this live, I always try to skip steps for the sake of time. And then what always ends up happening is I do something, I don't like it, and then I have to go back and change it. And because I didn't like properly layer it, it just takes me that much longer, and then I feel kind of stupid for doing it. So, I mean, it seems like we're gonna be doing this kind of stuff for a minute, so I might as well just kind of get used to painting something with everybody, so then we don't have to worry about it, you know? So in this regard, maybe I should just kind of go through the whole thing over the week, if I have time. I mean, even though I'm kind of painting right now, my time is a little bit more limited nowadays. So, all right, let's take a look at that and see what that looks like without the background lines. And so there we go. That's what we have so far. So already I don't necessarily like that, so that's gonna have to change. And then on top of that, I will have to make some kind of layer that is going to simulate a lighter but warmer value. So that could be anything. We'll just do it like this, and probably like a light blue or something like that. Could easily work, right? See, nice little shape right there. And that's kind of cool. Now I'm wondering if these guys, this is all one. That could possibly be a mistake later. We'll find out. I want that to be a little bit darker. Okay, so worst comes to worst, we can just kind of erase here. Mr. John Polidora in the house, man. Freaking Overwatch, Riot, my Sombra, all the cool things that I freaking like in life this man creates. Out here in Korea. What's going on, bro? I hope you dodging viruses. You and your dog are doing well. Just eating lots of food. And just hanging out. When all this is said and done, I'm gonna come visit you, bro. I'm gonna come. That's like the first thing. I'm gonna do a Japan visit, and then I'm gonna do a Korea visit, dog. Just gonna see everybody. So I hope all your loved ones back at home are you know doing good and they're safe, all that kind of fun stuff. That's good, man. That's good. That's really good. I'm happy to hear that, bro. Yeah, my man, my man John over here just one day said, "Yo, I'm going to Korea. I'm gonna be an art director." I'm like, "Oh shit, what?" And then just everything he knew, just dropped it like a G. I mean, I did that for Spain, but like, I was a little bit younger. JP's a little bit of a older guy, just doing everything. That's some G stuff though. I respect it. That's cool, man. What a cool culture shock it must be, I imagine, to go out there and learn a new language, that kind of stuff. I mean, it must. Nah, I'm good, dude. I'm good, bro. Like, I'm married to like a germaphobe scientist, dude. Jacqueline's like a germaphobe, bro. So we've been like, I realize now that we like hoard like toilet paper and like hand sanitizers, like way before all this even started, because of that reason. Like, before all this even happened, like we always had like extra toilet paper in the garage, like extra paper towels in the garage, like the big Costco packs, because she never wants to not have them. And then the same thing with like Lysol wipes. Like she always has Lysol wipes kind of around somewhere, So we're really lucky that she's kind of like that in a way, because normally we would probably be pretty screwed on that stuff. So being married to kind of not a paranoid scientist, but she definitely likes to have things clean in the house. Yeah, it's kind of forced me to kind of get my shit together, So yeah, in that regard, we got pretty lucky. You spoken zero Korean? Come on, dog. You gotta speak some Korean, bro. You better come back fluent in that. You better come back talking like, AJ. It's black with a beard, all fit and speaking full-on Korean. You better come back with the Korean girl, most of all. You better get wifed the fuck up out there, bro. You better come back. Actually, nah, focus on your work first. Once that goes good, then you can get wifed up. Find you a nice little Korean lady that will treat you good. Okay, so that's looking good. I want to have something here, but what I want to do is put it behind it. So we'll do that. We're gonna do that. All right, BR Nelson, what's good? I'm doing good. I'm chilling. How are you, Nelson84? Just trying to stream a little bit, give you guys something to watch. I feel like now this is the time where we probably need to, as artists, we gotta start kind of maybe making a little more content, doing something to give people to consume, whether you're an artist or not. So hopefully this will kind of give you a break and you don't think about things, you know. You're ADing hard? Yeah, that's crazy. So when you're doing art direction out there, I mean, it's all Korean artists. I mean, do they all speak English, or what's good with that? How is that kind of working? Sorry, I'm talking to my friend John Polidora in the Facebook chat. People that can't see. He used to work over at he's like an Overwatch Blizzard concept artist. He also worked at Riot. He recently moved to Korea and is art director out there. And I'm kind of just asking him some questions in the chat about how his life is going. And I kind of regret not taking his Tesla off his hands because they now have a Tesla charging station right across the street from me. I'm like, dude, I should have taken him on that. So I apologize. Dude, this line is so thin. I love it. Look how thin that shit is. This is good. So I'll make it a little bit bigger. That's like gonna stab me. Here we go. That's good, right? Because then what I can do, because this is all like nicely organized, what I can do is I'll copy it and I'll paste it behind this guy. See that? And that's like the beauty of like layering there, because now it creates that shape right there that I don't even really have to worry about, which is really, really nice. So that's like why when you're doing something in the background, like those little micro things right here are like super imperative that you kind of like nail it. And now if I want to, I can kind of just paint that. And now I don't have to really worry about like if I make it like a certain shape or whatever, you know? It's like really, really easy. So you can see how far we can get with it. Some speak English, but I also have a very helpful production assistant, and she's super helpful with translations. Oh, that's good. Dang, you got a translation assistant, dude? So that's crazy. Where are you at, Nelson? So I am in the Bay Area. They initiated kind of a lockdown, so that just kind of means, in general, that people like can't go out per se, unless you really have to. So, I mean, you can't go out into like public places that are like super busy, I guess is probably the better term to kind of explain it. So if you are, you know, you can't go any bars. They're closing down bars and gyms. You can't do that stuff. But if you gotta go to the grocery store or something like that, or go to the doctor, dentist, or whatever, then, that's fine. You just can't go to like the club. So it's just kind of like silly stuff that like people still want to do because they're morons. They can't do that stuff. So that's the only thing in general that's going on, is they initiated that, and that will go till about April, so about 2.5 weeks, I think. Hopefully it gets resolved sooner than that, but we're probably, because people are dumb and want to go out to the club and do dumb stuff, we kind of in the situation. So I'm fine. I mean, even if I do get it, I'll probably just drink some Gatorade and just kind of wait it out. I'm a relatively healthy person. I try to be active. I try to work out a lot and eat healthy. Not all the time, but for the most part, I try to stay active. I'm a very avid soccer player, so I play football. I play football a lot. So I got a bike. I have a Peloton bike behind me in my office. So I've been kind of lazy actually this past week. I haven't really worked out, but actually before all this kind of happened, I had just come back on vacation. So I haven't really done much since then. And then I had like a surgery. I had to get a cyst removed on my back. Gross. And that kind of took me out for a couple of weeks too. So like I'm like just now kind of getting back into like push-ups and stuff. So I am kind of looking forward to kind of like I guess a little bit of the extra time that I don't have to drive everywhere. And I can just kind of just stay at home and do my thing. So you're in Tucson, Arizona. Shit. They're doing sort of the same thing. How's the Academy of Art School doing? Did they shut down? Yeah, they shut down. They shut down for a little bit, and I don't know when they're gonna come back. I think probably after spring break, and I forget when spring break is, but it's not too bad. I mean, almost all the classes that we have at Academy of Art anyway are online classes, so it doesn't. They can move to online, and it doesn't really take that much of a toll on people, like students per se. Like it does, but it's not like the end of the world. Like I can still. I don't like it because obviously, like, if I'm gonna teach a class, like a physical class, I want to like be there. You know what I mean? But it's it is what it is. You gotta deal with it as it kind of comes. So yeah, that's kind of how that class is going. And then going back to John over here, he's saying you have to. Yeah, that's cool, man. I mean, I can't wait to see what you're doing, man. I'm super proud of you. You're always making all these money moves, bro. I respect it. So, really, really cool, man. Really cool. I have to get a little bit of, is this in front of it? Oh, it is. Shit. Well, that's weird. Can I bring this upward? I'm gonna see if I can bring this upward. See, this is where layers, man, helps you out a lot. Because you can do stuff like this, and it makes my life easier. Then I might have to screen cap it after a certain while. Oh yeah, that's kind of cool actually. It kind of creates a little bit of a of an overlap, that we didn't have before. So, I'm not sure if I like that little angle or not, so I might have to. I'll leave that for now. I'm gonna put a pin on that. It's already creating a tangent, so then this kind of has to move a little bit. So I'm actually gonna separate this too. I don't want to have a layer for every rock that I'm gonna draw, but for ones like that, I probably need to kind of make some extra layers there so I can fix that. But let's go on to everything else. I feel like it's like still going. I'd love to hire you for stuff, by the way. Yeah, I guess we can talk offline. Apparently, if we don't go to work for a while, I guess I would probably have some time. But yeah, yeah, dude, I love to work with you, dude. You're awesome. I love you. I love you, John. And I'm glad you're doing well. Give your dog my love. Bring you back some. We'll have some Korean barbecue whenever you come back. All that kind of stuff. Nelson said, I'm thinking about going to start using Postmate Fleet and try to make some money since there's almost no art scene here in Tucson. Wait, Postmate Fleet? What is that? Postmate Fleet to try and make some money. And how does that relate to art? And yeah, I'm still teaching there. So I have a class. I have an online class actually. So Postmate Fleet. What is that? You learn something new every day, man. Let me tell you. Okay. So already now we have the sky right there, and then we have all of that. So now what I can do is I can turn on the midground, and I can see where I wanna put that. You see what I'm saying? So it's a really, really easy way to kind of work. Do online delivery. Okay. Oh, it's because there's no art scene there. There's no art job, so you're gonna do that instead to make money. Oh, I get it. I thought it was like you trying to deliver art because there's no art scene, so you're trying to like fill the plug. That's what I thought. I was like, oh damn. I was like, this dude is like super smart out here. I was like, apparently in Tucson, people are like, we need art, man. I need some art. Yeah, dude, you're probably gonna have to move at some point, I would imagine. But I mean, you don't have to do it until like you're ready, you know what I mean? Like until like you feel like, okay, like my portfolio's in a good place, I got enough the training that I want. Then you can go. But I mean, if your work is good enough, I mean, thank God for online stuff that you can probably do a lot online, which is like, really, really fortunate for most people. So that's actually like, you know, kind of a blessing in disguise in a way, you know. So and that might be a pretty good option for you. Yeah, so yeah, there's nothing wrong with taking on, you know, like those kind of side jobs, you know, and until the meantime, you know, like I was totally one of those people growing up, you know, when I was kind of putting my name in the art scene. You know, I used to be a receptionist at Supercuts, man. That was my thing. You know, I would literally just check people in, ask them what kind of haircut they wanted, then they would go sit down and I would continue to draw. You know, I'd work on my life drawing and stuff like that, and that's all I would do, dude. So, yeah, that's totally a thing. And yeah, I just didn't have the right, I wasn't good enough, didn't have the right opportunities, you know. And slowly, like one day, someone finally offered me a job. Someone said, yo, you want to do some work? And I was like, what, me? Are you high? And then he was like, no. And then, you know, I got some work. It was cool. So it can kind of happen like that sometimes, you know. I'll put it behind it. This has to go in front. Okay, so this is where things get a little bit dicey or hard to understand. So let me block in this guy, but obviously a lot more dark here, a little more warmer tone. Yeah, man, it just takes a little bit of time to kind of, like anything, man. It's tiring. Art's like super hard. But you just gotta put that work in until you get to a place where you want to be. But yeah, I get it though. Sometimes it's like it's a tiring thing, bro. Okay, now we're talking. Now we got something here. Now I'm curious if I want to have that same kind of light strip in there in the back. I don't really know yet. So let's just get this thing blocked in as quickly as possible, and then we can kind of worry about the other stuff. So I'm like wondering if I do want to have more trees in there and stuff like that, but we'll have to kind of figure this out as we go. Sorry, I'm just refreshing my screen here. So it's not bad. It could be worse. Yeah. Nah, not bad. Could be worse. Alright. Let's keep it going. Okay, what's next? I'm liking the organization that I'm having here though. Like, cause normally I'm not this organized. Normally I kind of just go for it, but I feel like that's my problem a lot of times, especially if I'm doing a demo like kind of live, essentially. I don't have everything kind of set up. Or normally I'll kind of do this like offline because it may not seem that interesting, but I think in this, like, since we have a little bit more time, it's kind of like, why not? And that might be too dark, in my opinion. Let's find a halfway point there. Maybe a little bit. So all I'm doing there is I'm just taking that and just dragging it down like a gradation, and then kind of just adding in a little bit of I'm sampling it and then refilling it, you know, like the alt backspace, hoping that it, you know, it looks nice. And then now I'm wondering if I want this shape, and I'll make a new layer just so I don't like, you know. I wonder if I want to go like full Pride Rock here, you know. Or see. So that's what I'm thinking. And if I do that, right, all I have to do is just like turn it off, you know. And I can see if I really want that. And what I'll do is I'll make it a different color. So I'll kind of name it like option. And I can just have that there for whatever purposes I may need it for. So yeah, so there's some levels to it essentially. Like, do I want it to be flat or do I want it to be just bigger? So I may duplicate it again. Maybe what I just do is I just drag it upward, you know. Like that might actually be the actual solution to it. So that's option 2. So option, this one has to go. So I'll turn that off, right? So right now I'm gonna stick with option 2 for now. So that just makes it a little bit easier to kind of just organize your thoughts, and then you don't have to like worry about it. So that's all I'm really doing there. And again, it's like I'm much more into kind of composing nowadays. Like, not so much like the painting part of it, but how am I like organizing? Like, how are all these things right here, like in between? How does it look? And right now, like it's not 100% there for me. So if that ever happens, I can make another layer called the frame. I'll call it a frame, and I'll save this thing right now. And what I'll do is I'll kind of frame what I think looks nice, and then I'll inverse it, and then what I'll do is I'll just make it black. And all I'm gonna do though is move like extreme left, you know. I'm just gonna take that guy and just kind of stretch it out over here. And then take extreme right, and then I stretch it out over here. Whoops. And then go kind of extremely upward. And whoops. Sorry about that. There we go. So, hey, why does it keep moving? There we go. And grab that piece and just drag it over. I mean, you could do it the other way too, like if you really wanted to. It's not that big of a deal. So all that does is that, like, when I move it around and stuff, like, it should have enough space, which apparently it clearly does not. So you just want to be able to move in every direction, and there's no space. Which, for the most part, it looks like I can do that pretty freely, except for right there. So I'll move it as far as I can in every direction. So just go like that, you know, there. And go down, which is right there. And then go all the way to the other side. Just like that, we're good. So let's have a little mask. So there we go. So now this is a little bit easier to kind of like focus to see if I'm liking the shapes. So open a little frame. A little frame. And I can kind of move that around. So like right there, I like it, but I don't like that. And that looks ugly, and I need to figure it out. And I think it's mostly because the shapes are too big. So let me kind of figure this part out right now. And what I can do here too, just so I don't get too caught up in it, I'm gonna make a new window. And the new window will be nice because I can kind of look at it from afar. I'll probably keep it on the same screen actually. This just makes it so I can kind of see like how it looks like as an image. So if I make a cut, you know what I mean? If I take something and I move it, it does the same thing there. So if I turn it off, right, you can see how that kind of looks. So let's see what we can do here. So I'm working on it closely, but I'm looking at it on the right side right here, just to kind of see what the changes are and like if they feel like they're they're validated. You know, they're valid in terms of like the forms. So what I could do too is I could turn off all this stuff, and what I want to do sometimes too here is on this layer, I'll make a layer and I'll link it, and then I'll make this probably a different color. I'll make it yellow, just so I know. And what I can do here is I can draw some kind of sight lines here, and rhythm lines or sight lines are kind of just like, or I guess they're probably just contour lines. They're lines that will help me kind of figure out like where I'm trying to go with the piece, you know what I mean? Like which direction is something going. So it's kind of like this direction, right? That direction. So it will kind of help me figure out the lay of the land a little bit more, and that may help me figure out the placement. Because a lot of times it's mostly like a placement issue. Like the rocks aren't placed at the right angle, and it's not following like the contour or rhythm of the image. So sometimes having these lines here will kind of help me figure out which way it's going. So if I'm thinking like a wireframe here, you know, which direction is this stuff going, right? XYZ coordinate system. So this will kind of do a lot of work here for me in terms of really figuring out what direction things are going. So this is clearly going to be like in that direction right there, right? So with that said, this might actually help me out a lot. Because I think those rocks before weren't weren't sitting in any kind of interesting way. So now that I have that, I can turn the rocks back on technically one by one, and I can see like where I'd want to actually put one, you know? So if I do put one here, maybe instead I want to distort it and kind of, you know, like that. And if I do that, it definitely needs to be kind of three-dimensional, you know? So I would then go back to my hard brush here, or a lasso tool, it doesn't really matter. And I'm hoping that by kind of doing that, what should happen is I'm getting a more realistic form here. So, like so. So that could actually feel like it makes sense. Which then means, hey, if I want to now, I can put a rock that's kind of going in that angle. Like so. And like that's not bad. So there's like ways around it, you know what I mean? So I'm just trying to kind of figure that out for myself and figure out like how do I want it kind of interacting? Like do I want it curving more? Do I want it kind of do I want it cutting into it a little bit more? Like stuff like that. There's a lot of things, a lot of options here. And every option is like really important to me. So I kind of have to take my time with this just because like I'm just not as good at this stuff as other people are. So I feel like I have to really kind of take each rock seriously, because the placement of each rock like is kind of, it's dumb to think that it like is that important, but it kind of is. Like if you don't have it look right, it like drives me insane. So everything has to be kind of drawn with intent. So if I don't see, I'm looking right here, and it's like this still doesn't freaking look good. And I'm also wondering too if I should just change the angle of this as well. So maybe this might actually like help out too. That's gonna be a tree, obviously, but you know, like that's such an annoying phase that I could literally spend a week like trying to kind of like problem solve this, and it may never like ever get solved, and it may get to a point where I just have to actually just kind of like make do with it. But that's the level of kind of like ridiculousness you kind of have to hold yourself accountable to. So big shape, like it's a big shape, little shape, right? I'm thinking of threes, like what looks good in threes, maybe short, long, little things like that can kind of maybe help. So maybe like just a big long shape might help kind of create that as well. So like that actually kind of looks okay. Just because it's like something that's like super long, and then now you can kind of get into that busy area. So I also got to think about rhythm too, because I kind of want it to kind of go back in here. I kind of want to move and kind of bounce in this area. So now that I have kind of like a better idea of the rhythm here, maybe now that's what I have to do, is probably make some of these a little bit bigger in general. And then what can happen here is that it should naturally kind of lead our eye to the spot back here. So maybe that's the problem, is I'm not thinking about the rhythm per se. I'm not thinking about what's the point of it, right? The rocks are rocks. They're supposed to look good compositionally. But what I wasn't thinking about for the past 5 minutes was the rhythm of it. Like, where am I trying to go with it? And so that's where I have to kind of be a little bit smarter, a little bit more, I guess, disciplined to not forget the overall point of it. Is like, hey, this needs to kind of move us in this direction. And so that's where I think I personally messed up there. I wasn't thinking about that, and now I kind of have to live with that. Because I essentially wasted like, 5 minutes here trying to kind of figure that out. Which means I need to put this behind it now in order for this to work. Long arm, what's good, dude? Hope the arms are long. Good to go. Okay. So, yeah, nice to hear from the YouTube people. Okay. See, that's a whole nother freaking thing that I gotta figure out too. Man, art is hard sometimes, dude. I swear. Oh, the legs are dead from soccer. What the hell are you playing soccer for, bro? Stay inside. I haven't played soccer in like 2 weeks. You need to not be outside at all. Unless you're trying to spread that shit. And don't get me wrong, I love soccer. I play it like 5 times a week, but you gotta choose life, my friend. You can't have people spreading that stuff out. Which is funny because I actually had to cancel, because I organize our soccer games at my work. I organize our community. Bunch of like super successful badasses, and they're scientists, lawyers, all that kind of stuff. Company owners. I organize a soccer, and I had to tell them like, hey guys, you gotta like take a break for a bit. And like half of them like straight up just did not listen. They're like, nah dude, we're gonna keep playing. And I was like, maybe you should take a break, because like all y'all are old, so I'm just saying. And then eventually they listened. They're like, you know what, maybe we should take a break. And I'm like, thank you. So but don't get me wrong, I am missing it, but unfortunately we can't afford to. I don't want to spread that to people that I play with, just because I could possibly have it, show no symptoms, and I give it to one of the older guys, right? And then they're screwed, right? They can't work, they can't, So that's the part that was kind of hard for someone to understand, because they're like, well, I feel fine. And I'm like, yeah, you feel fine, but then you may go home to your loved ones, your mom, your dad, your fiance, whatever, and the next thing you know, they have it, and then then you gotta deal with that. I think people kind of forget, like when it happens to you, it's like a mental and financial toll on you, right? You need someone to kind of stop and take care of you, all that kind of stuff, monitor you. It's like, you get a flu, so it sucks to get it. So I'm glad to have seen people are kind of taking it back, but hope you had a good time. But that should be the last time. Can't afford it. I mean, even my Arsenal has destroyed the Premier League. They have essentially ruined Liverpool's chances of winning the Premier League because Arteta got that shit. I feel kind of bad for them, but not really. Like they were like what? I take that back. I do feel bad because like they were like 25 points ahead. That's ridiculous to be that far ahead in the Premier League. Like 22 points or 25 points, whatever it was a lot of fucking points, and they were like just freaking killing it this year. And when all that stuff is said and done, then it's like, oh yeah, coronavirus, we're pretty much postponing the season. If they cancel the season, I would feel I would be so triggered as a Liverpool fan to be that far ahead and like not having won in like 25 plus years, and you're like so far ahead of the table that you can't possibly lose. Like it's like you'd have to have some kind of catastrophic, like all your players are injured and to lose that many games, and even then like you could probably still get away with it. Like I don't know, dude, that's nuts. And look at that. While talking, I think I may have figured out some of the issues here, and it doesn't look half bad. The hard part is figuring out the overlapping shapes here, because you want that to kind of feel natural. So I think I should put an overlapping shape like here. And this is important too because like it creates that really interesting space. And but I can move that, you know? Like that's like the beauty of it is like I'm one of those guys where I will make like super small, like micro little adjustments and stuff like that, and, you know, here and there. So my work is not going. We have to work from home, so it's going, but it's not going. So we can't go to the office, but we have to work from home. Like, that's kind of like how serious it is, like in terms of like we really gotta kind of stay home so that we don't overwhelm the healthcare system, you know what I mean? So that's like my wife's a scientist, right? So it's like she's super on about all this kind of stuff, about like, because like even I was like the same way, you know? I was like, babe, like I want to go play soccer, like it's fine, like it's all young people, it's fine. And then she's like, yo, like it's not about you, it's about you possibly like getting it and then giving it to someone that can't handle it, you know? She's like, you're young and healthy, you know, it probably won't hit you and you probably won't really feel it, and if you do, you'll recover. It's like, but everybody else that can't, you know, possibly your neighbors, anyone you may come in contact with later on, you know, you could be potentially killing them. And I was like, yep, I guess, you know, that's a true statement from someone that is, you know, worked on rare diseases for like 10 plus years. So I was like, yeah, I guess I probably shouldn't try to argue with someone that they don't know what they're talking about. It'd be like her trying to talk to me about composition, like graphical reads and shit, like she knows. So I was like, yeah, I will defer to you, and I will shut the hell up. So yeah, I stopped playing, and it sucks because that's like my exercise. I feel better after playing. It's good for me. It's like I was getting in good shape. Finally kind of eating better as a whole. I mean, I was definitely on a roll before I went on my vacation. And now that is all kind of gone to the wayside, unfortunately. So it's really unfortunate. But, and then, you know, shout outs to Husto. He passed away on Sunday, and he was the guy that I played soccer with, and really cool guy. Really sad to hear that he you know, he went away. So definitely looking forward to playing again though. I love our community, so community that's been around for a while now, so I'm looking forward to kind of seeing them and playing. And it's really hard right now, I think, for a lot of people, just because you kind of, I think in times of like economic or like crazy stuff, you know, you kind of look to sports to kind of like take your mind off of things. And now we like don't have that we don't have that, you know what I mean? Like when stuff is hard, right, people come together over like entertainment, right? You can go watch a movie, you can go, you know, you can go do like lots of things. And now that all is kind of like out the window, unfortunately. So it's just it's kind of unfortunate that we're in a spot where we have nothing. But that's why I think, like, in general, it's going to be important for artists, people that, you know, that if you do art, you know, I encourage you to put yourself out there and, you know, make stuff, do things. People are going to want things to consume right now, in terms of, you know, passing time. And if that can help someone, you know, not think about stuff for a little bit, then, you know, I say do it. Because a lot of people are probably struggling right now, so give them something. Yeah, it's very tough to argue with the scientists. Believe me, I have tried. I was like, what do you know? Freaking scientist. And yeah, it doesn't. I found out what I don't know very, very quickly. But she doesn't know everything, so it's all good. Doesn't know art, though she actually is pretty artistic, so she claims. So, but she doesn't know everything. If it's art or like sports, I got it. That's probably the only thing I really know about. Anything else, I'm like, you're out of luck there, kid. All right, that's actually looking pretty good. That whole situation. It's not perfect. Like, this area needs some work. So what I might do is, since we're almost done here for like an hour, what I'll do is I'll write notes to myself, and that note will say, "Stop sucking." And I'll write WTF is that. So cool. So that's my notes. My frame, I can turn it off. And we're almost there. See? So now I have like a nice little like kind of mini little composition here that could totally work. And then I still have to fill in the foreground as well. So, you know, maybe I can kind of do that as well. Like, well, why not, you know? So that's the background. Oh, wait, what's happening here? Oh, this is the background. Okay. And this is the foreground. Okay. This is the oh no, this is the midground. Sorry. Group that. So that's BG, MG, and then make a new layer for that, and that's going to be FG for foreground. So I will probably just kind of fill this in with something. Though I'm totally not sure like what I want to do with it, but I may have to turn back my perspective on a little bit just so I can kind of get the shit to where I want it to be. But I can start kind of like, you know, filling that in there to some degree. But I have no idea like if I'm going to like it or not. Okay. So then I can turn the lines off, which is nice, right? The foreground lines, bam. Turn the midground lines off, bam. So I still have a couple of like rocks and things to put, and I didn't consider bushes yet. So that's kind of like the next thing. But this is a game, this is a sprint. I mean, this is a marathon of a sprint. So I'm not trying to like paint this super fast, because I know I'll mess it up, but what I am trying to do is be very methodical here. So this is the beauty of it, is now we get to a point where it really is about kind of just moving stuff around and just kind of seeing the angles, how you want things to kind of look. But already, you can already see like this level of kind of like spacing here, which is kind of cool. And then on top of that, What's really going to be really nice here too is that in between these guys, if I want to, if you look at the layering right here, in between that means I can have layers of washes. So I could put atmosphere. I can name it atmosphere. And so now if I want to, I can easily put a layer of atmosphere in between this, right? I can go in here, right? I can make it completely blue, right? So that's kind of cool. Sorry, wrong layer. In between this layer right here, see? Completely blue. Put it on like a lighten mode, right? Something like that. Lower the opacity. And so now you can kind of, it feels a little bit kind of hazy, you know what I mean? You can kind of see that little haze there. Before had all this kind of color, and you can kind of create that haze and layers of that haze because of the fact that I have it. So then I can easily take a mask of that too and just drag that down a little bit so it kind of hits the bottom. And so now there's a little bit of haze on that right there, because all the organization was already figured out. So you know, I got my notes, I got everything I need. We'll see where it goes in terms of like kind of color and stuff, you know what I mean? So that's the plan right now. So we'll see where we come back. I may try to stream at some point in time this week as well and kind of see where we are, but and then maybe we'll do some more kind of like feedback as well, because my CGMA class is ending as well, so then I'll technically have some extra time amongst my other kind of obligations. So yes, that will be it today. So let me know if you guys have any questions about that, but so far I think we're in a pretty good spot. I'm actually kind of excited to kind of finish this. I think it can have a lot of visually interesting ideas. I'm kind of going for like this kind of like super long, like wide African trees. That's what I want to do, and I'm hoping I can make that happen with the piece. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions about that, and then I will see you guys when I see you. And yeah, so I'll see you guys later. Stay inside. Oh, what's up, Dean? Dean's my coworker. Dean's like an amazing animator, and Nico was painting along with you. Awesome. Tell her to send it to me. I want to see it whenever she gets it. Anika, let me see that. I want to see that stuff. It looks really cool. But yeah, so we'll probably be doing this because I mean we're all working from home. So just please stay home, wash your hands, take showers, do all that stuff. Don't go and hang out at bars and stuff, please. You will get not because you feel fine or you don't think you're gonna get it, but you could possibly give it to somebody else. So please be smart there. Okay. Yeah, I will see you guys. I may actually stream on my Twitch some me playing some video games because I'm just like, well, what else am I gonna do? But I probably need to do some work though, so I need to catch up on some studio work as well. So thank you guys for coming through. I appreciate it, and hang in there, guys, and you know, support your local streamers, that stuff like that. Go watch people. If you're a creator, make some stuff. I'd love to see it. Okay. All right, guys. I'll see you next time. Peace out.